Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube Messiah, Unlimited, never duplicated, and the only motherfucker out there that can make a leopard print and a hat look sexy as fuck, Tim Vicious, and we are gonna go over TLC. No, we ain't getting some tender love and care, although not to say I wouldn't dismiss that for Christmas. Santa, if you're listening, can you please have her be anywhere between 5'5" to 6 foot, preferably redhead. Any hair color would do, though. We'll get into measurements later. Either way, TLC, the pay-per-view, tables, ladders, and chairs, in the ThunderDome. And I'm not gonna lie, man, this was... You know, ever since the whole lockdown shit, and I'm not saying the best out of 2020 because, you know, keep in mind that there was 2 pay-per-views in 2020 that did have audiences, but as far as best pay-per-view without audiences, yeah, I gotta say, WWE, this was probably the best fucking one that they've had. You know, and goddamn, this was damn good. I mean, it was solid action. I was thoroughly entertained throughout the entire show, which I know is like, for whatever reason, it seems like the word entertained is like taboo amongst wrestling fans because, oh, you're entertained, you must be brainwashed, but you must be part of the WWE brainwash. Dude, no, it's... Fucking wrestling is supposed to be entertaining no matter what show or what promotion. Either way, pre-show match, it was an impromptu tag match that was only announced the day of. It was Daniel Bryan, Otis, Chad Gable, and Big E going up against Corbin, Cesaro, Nakamura, and Sami Zayn, which, Sami, man, my God, I fucking love Sami right now, man. He is the epitome, the living fucking embodiment of what a chicken shit heel needs to be. You know, he comes out, he calls his shit, he goes and swears to the heavens on how he can bat 1,000, throw a 100-yard pass, you know, catch a 200-pound tuna with his bare hands, all that kind of shit. And then when it's time to go, it's go time, it's, well, you know, I would, but my shoulder's hurting, so maybe not today. You know, just fucking beautiful the way Sami's doing it. You know, and picking his shots, hiding when all the big chaos and mayhem's going on. You know, now the faces that were leading early on at the start, and Daniel Bryan was the punching bag, and Otis surprisingly got the hot tag in, which was, you know, I was not expecting that. Big part with Otis that I really dug, and it plays to the story with him and Gable, was Otis, he gets the hot tag, he's cleaning up house. He gets one of the dudes down. I don't remember. I think it was Cesaro or... No, it was Nakamura. And Gable is on the apron yelling to him, now you've got it. Use the teachings I taught you and take care of it the way you did. Something along those lines. And then he does the caterpillar, which, honestly, I give Otis credit because he's able to do that, whereas if I went to go and try and do that, it would look like a beached whale. Just have fun picturing that. And he goes, he does it, and all that, but it was just fucking beautiful the way it happened, because then after that, that's when all the big mayhem happened, and everyone hit everyone, and everyone was down, except Sami Zayn, who was hiding behind the timekeeper's guard post. and then went to come in and creep in and try and get a sneak win. Oh, no, it did not happen. Then Big E came in, started pummeling Sami, popped him with a big ending. 1, 2, 3, that was it. And then the big beautiful thing that happened was later in the show when they showed the replay from that match, they then said this coming Friday on SmackDown, Big E is getting his shot at the Intercontinental title against the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn. So, honestly, I think that match is more than likely. If it's not a title win, it's going to be a schmozz finish, which then leads to a title match at the Royal Rumble. Personal predictions. Either way, now on to the main show. It starts off with Uncle Allen himself, AJ Styles, coming out with almost looking like, man, okay, sidebar here, weird thing that I learned. The history on why Mr. T always wore so many gold chains was because before he got big and famous, he was a bouncer, and all the gold chains he had were from dudes that he took them off of, and his big claim to fame was, you want that chain back, you gotta come and step to me for it. Almost just having that drip, looking like that dude, looking like having some big gold, looking like T, not like wearing 10,000 things like him, but just having that drip, and then he just, honestly, almost, he looks looking like a bouncer, or like that dude that says, I'm gonna give you a choice. You can either pay, or you can pick which hand I'm gonna break. And I knew them dudes. I grew up with them dudes. They're nice if you don't have to owe them money. But I digress. AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, TLC match at the start. Oh my God, this was a fucking good start. Good match. Good start to the show. It was a good solid fight at the start. Good back and forth. AJ was working on Drew's knee. And then once he started focusing on the knee, AJ was dictating the pace. At one point, I don't know how, I think it was when Drew, he actually grabbed a chair and threw it. You know, the old classic, throwing the chair at somebody's spot instead of doing chair shots instead of cracking someone on the head. We now just throw a chair at somebody's head. But Drew threw a chair at AJ, caught him, sliced right on the side. You could see it. He even on Raw, he had that big red slash right there. So AJ's going to be carrying that little battle scar on him, courtesy of Drew. And man, just, whew, it was nice. And then right out of nowhere, Miz and Morrison come out of nowhere. Miz goes to claim that he is looking to cash in his money in the bank. Yeah, money. Damn it! So much for a Christmas miracle of not botching on this show. On this episode, at least. But Miz and Morrison came out. Now, here's where the asterisk is going to come in saying Miz cashed in. Because while Miz was stomping a mud hole into Uncle Allen, John Morrison had the briefcase and told the official Miz is cashing in. So, and Miz was making this argument on Monday, Morrison cashed in. Miz did not. Therefore, technically, Miz can make the argument saying that he is still Mr. Money in the Bank and can cash in at a later time. Which is, again, a beautiful chicken shit heel thing to do. Because it's not like a good guy would do that. Now, with that said, given that I said that Miz cashed in and explained all that, kind of a spoiler that Miz didn't win it, but he cashed in, which then turned it into a triple threat. And once he started to do it, he started to climb up. That's when Omos comes in and takes Miz out of the equation. Literally picks him up just like if you were scooping up a little kid that fell asleep on the couch. and then just boom, threw him onto a table. Morrison goes to crack a chair across Omos's back. The chair literally breaks in his hands. Crack! It breaks, and it's just like, fuck. And then Morrison runs off and Omos chases him, and then then we get three-way schmaz fighting, and it comes to an end when McIntyre literally uses one ladder to push AJ and Miz off of the other ladder, and then he climbs up, gets his title, and oh so gracefully celebrates the fact that he is still the WWE Champion. Next up, we got women's action. Carmella. Oh, good God almighty. Woo. Carmella against Sasha, and good God. Now, Carmella in her gear was one thing, and Sasha came out with the nude colored gear, and I'm not trying to be can't say I'm not trying to be pervy, but I'm not trying to get to that kind of pervy, talking about the nude gear. I'm just saying, just the way it just went with the skin complexion, just, my God, oh. And then to top it off, Sasha had a killer weekend being on with the season finale of Mandalorian just 2 days before the damn show, so, whew, hell of a weekend for her. But yeah, Carmella, man, whew, good God almighty, she came out looking like a major smoke show. And notice, and I had a little conversation on this on the Twitter, you know, this had to be some kind of new gear, and, you know, not necessarily all the way worn in, if you will, because she kept seeing a lot of underboob on her, and just, okay, y'all can go and criticize me on that now, but I can't help if I have those kind of keen eyes that observe that stuff. On as far as the match goes, Sasha was leading at the start, and then Mella wound up leading the pace of the match. Really dug it. I really liked it. This was probably hands down one of Carmella's better matches that she had in a good while. And that's not to say that she's not a bad wrestler, but you know, she's improved. She's shown leaps and bounds of improvement on her compared to where she was before, is the right verbiage that I'd like to use. Great match. It was a hell of a match considering what it had to follow. Match came to an end when Sasha got the win, doing the bank statement, torquing on Mella, eventually getting the tap, and I stress this all the time, and it was such a great thing to see. Carmella actually held on for a few seconds because, yep, we're all smart enough to know, yeah, wrestling's a work, and the finishes are predetermined, and all this, that, and the end, fuck. I don't want to get into that talk. But when you're talking about wrestling, when you're doing wrestling, you got to have some sense of realism. And to me personally, and I don't try to put my personal shit out there too much, but me personally, when I see somebody with a submission in, I like to see them holding on for like 5 seconds at the very most. Hold on. Give that faint glimmer of hope of, wait, no, I can stomach through this pain. I can get through it. I can't. No, that's it. I give. You know, try and do that. Just, you know, it's just personal preference. Anyways, next matchup now we got Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin going against New Day, and this was a damn good match. New Day wound up leading at the start. Woods became the punching bag, and then Kofi got the hot tag in. This was damn good, solid action. I fucking love this match. I mean, at one point, Kofi wound up actually getting teeth kicked out of him, where he did, and he showed the pictures on his Twitter and all, saying he was spitting teeth out, which, keep them teeth, you know, I mean, Kofi, it's your choice what you want to do with him, if you want to keep him, or personally, I'd be nice enough to go and give him the Danhausen, you know. He keeps those things. He's a very nice, very evil man. Thank you very much. Love that Danhausen. But, yeah, I would just, woof, damn. And I dug the shit out of this match. I absolutely loved it. I can't stress enough on how much I love the Hurt Business, just because the Hurt Business are those dudes that you see at the back of a bar or a club with just sitting there, minding their own, knocking back some Jameson or something, and then the second somebody goes and steps out of line, and they're just like, hold that thought. Put the glass down, unbutton the suit. That's when you know somebody's getting put on the ass end of an ass whooping. That's all it is, plain and simple. Match came to an end when Shelton wound up hitting Shelton Benjamin wound up hitting Kofi with like this superplex, and then just as he was sizing up Kofi, he was in his corner, looking like he was going to go for the paydirt. Next thing you know, Cedric tags himself in, comes in, pops Kofi with a lumbar check, and then gets a 1-2-3. That is it. So Cedric and Shelton Benjamin are your new Raw Tag Team Champions. So they got the U.S. title, the tag titles. Man, now, I'm freestyling fantasy booking. Have Bobby Lashley drop the U.S. title to Riddle, and then MVP go kick the crap out of Riddle to reclaim the U.S. title, and then have Lashley go after McIntyre again for the world title. Because, again, it's burnt into my brain the one thing MVP said. He knew once he saw Drew won the WWE Championship, he knew he was going to be involved with him losing it. So have him lose it to Lashley. Again, fantasy booking. Next up, women's tag team action. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler going against Asuka and her mystery opponent. Who could it be? Who could it be? Drum roll, please. Seriously, Wade? You're not going to give me a drum? God damn. Wade, why do I keep you on the payroll if you ain't going to do nothing for me? Anyways, Asuka's tag partner was Charlotte Flair. Unfortunately, the fuck knuckles like Dave Meltzer, Wade Keller, Bryan Alvarez, Brad Shepard and Ryan Satin, all them happy fucks that like to go and jerk each other off doing dirt sheets, all spoiled it in advance, because honestly it really was a good mystery right up until they said, oh, breaking news, this is Asuka's tag partner. Dude, I can't understand why some people get the sense of what joy they get out of spoiling shit, or why they feel the need to have to do that. Christ, why? Why? Let the fans enjoy the mystery and the aura of the what ifs. Because, hell, there was also, me and a few buddies were also talking, me and a few buddies on my Twitter were talking, what if they brought Kyrie back just for one night? Even if it was just a one-off. But either way, Asuka and Charlotte. Now, Nia and Shayna, they were leading at the start, and Asuka became the punching bag, which was to be expected given that Charlotte was the mystery partner. She got the hot tag in, and oh, Nelly did she clean up house. And I know a lot of people are shitting all over the idea, oh, well, Charlotte's back, so there goes everyone's push, there goes everyone's spot, this, that, and the other. Fuck that shit. Here's the thing. She's marketable. She's a she's just as much of a commodity as any other big name, as any other woman talent that is known. You know, I mean, Chris, Bianca Belair is doing commercials for telling kids not to vape. I mean, and she lost, and she's lost matches. Are you telling me she's buried? Mandy Rose lost to Asuka, or not even lost to Charlotte, but she was a actual cover on the cover of Maxim. Are you telling me she's buried? Yeah, it makes no damn sense. Some folks, yeah. Either way, I'm all for it with Charlotte being back. It was good to see, you know. Asuka and Charlotte got the win, where Charlotte wound up hitting natural selection onto Shayna when Shayna, she was trying to go for the Karabuta clutch at one point. Charlotte countered, got over it, and then boom, pop natural selection, 1, 2, 3. That was it. I'm all for it. Go for it, girls. You know? Mm-hmm. Next up, we got Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, and oh my God almighty. Whew. You want to talk about a murder. Owens, now, KO, he snuck up. He did like Randy Orton at WrestleMania to Edge, and just, excuse me, and just popped up right out of nowhere and started getting Roman. And then Jey Uso tried jumping in at one point, and Kevin, excuse me, cracked a chair onto Jay's foot as he was throwing a super kick, and then did a loose cannon stomp on his ankle to take him out for a minute. But man, oh man, Roman just put KO on the ass end of an ass whooping ungodly. He just fucking, I can't even say it was an ass end of an ass whooping. He straight up fucking murdered that boy. He murdered that boy. You know, it was just all out mayhem. You know, I mean, and I was thinking when I was watching the first match with Styles and Drew, like, you know, we're not seeing a whole lot of metal and crazy shit. That just tells me we're going to see a lot of crazy shit later on, and then we get to the crazy shit later on, holy fuck. You know? The one thing I really loved about with this match more than anything was, as the match was going on, the more Kevin Owens kept getting his ass kicked, and the harder it was for him to keep getting up. He kept getting up. Like, I could still fight. Stay down. Wham! And then he'd just get back up, throw out a few shots, start to pick up some momentum, and then Roman, boom, flatten him again. Match eventually comes to an end when Roman winds up hitting when KO, he, like I said, got a few shots in, started to get some momentum, getting up on the ladder, big fight on the ladder. It comes to Roman then, boom, low blow, punch right to the nuts, and then doing a guillotine right while on the ladder, choking out KO, and then Owens limp body, boom, fall flat down right on to the mat, right onto the ring, and then Roman claim his prize. Now we come to main event of the night. Randy Orton versus the Fiend Bray Wyatt in a Firefly Inferno match, which, holy shit nuts, I have no idea on where to even begin. It started out as a fight, and then right as the Fiend started to pick up some momentum and go, he wound up doing this, whoom, and then next you know, boom, you saw not the ring, but all around the outside, like where the barriers are and all, fire and pillars and all that shit just ablaze, and like, holy shit. And it was just, whoa. Now, the Fiend, very much so being the Fiend, where he was no selling, immune to pain, just not feeling any sense of pain at all, and any he did feel, he just kept laughing and laughing and laughing. And this is the part of that about the character that you need to understand. The Fiend is supposed to be all the evil and the twisted, dark, scary, mad, angry, depressed, anxiety, all of those negative emotions that a normal person feels. Bray Wyatt, the man, manifested into a physical being. That's supposed to be what the character is. And that's why it's like that. You know, the harder you hit him, the more he laughs. You make him bleed, he's gonna bust a gut. You know, all that stuff. Now, at one point, they get the rocking chair out. Bray douses it with gasoline and then sits Randy on the chair, pulls out a Zippo, clink. And you see a trail of gas line go and chase after the chair, and Randy just, oh shit, get out of the chair. And just, whoa. They continue fighting, and at one point, the back of the Fiend's jacket was caught fire, and the Fiend was just perfectly fine. Like, it was nothing like, this is fine. Was even laughing while it was going on. And then Randy eventually popped him with an RKO. The fire went out, died out on him, and then he just sat there looking, and then went outside the ring, grabbed a can of gas, poured it all over the Fiend, and again, weird eyes, I observe and I notice weird shit. Randy grabbed the thing of matches. They weren't ordinary matches. They weren't like the little wooden matches you see people like light up a cigarette or a cigar or anything with. No. These were emergency matches. These were white phosphorus matches. I'm not sure if they used those intentionally or if it was or not, but there were white phosphorus matches, and if you've never used them, they don't spark the second you strike it. It's, you light it and then it takes like a half a second for it to start to go, and then you get like a 30-second windproof burn. And it's a slow burn. But it's a tss. And then Randy lit it, was playing with it for a minute, and then poof, dropped it right on the Fiend. And then it ended with the Fiend's body sitting there burning and burning away, all while Randy doing his pose. Now here comes the part where I'm going to get mad and shit on people, because a couple hours later, the Fiend wound up tweeting saying, "Hi Randy, I'm fine," and showed a picture of a cocoon or a chrysalis, whatever you want to say. And some people were saying, "Oh, well, if the Fiend's supposed to be dead, why is he tweeting?" Shut the fuck up, man. I mean, for crying out loud, if you're going to be that serious on shit, how about you get on the fact that AEW has a woman pretending she's a zombie? Or on how they have a 7-foot man pretending he's a fucking dinosaur. You know? Or on how you have people on the independents go and try and swear that they're like interdimensional beings or fucking alien or aliens or alien mutated monkeys or some shit. It's fucking wrestling. Get over your fucking shit, dude. I understand there's a sense of realism because I made that argument earlier about with some of the shit, about what moves. But I'm talking about with realism as far as executing moves and maneuvers. I'm not talking about the characters themselves, because if I was going to talk about characters, then you'd hear me complaining about on how in the Avengers movie they fought a giant 8 foot 700-pound purple alien. Either way, yeah, the following night on Raw, Randy came out, was talking about right here in this spot is when I set him on fire. I could still see it. I could smell it. Everyone doubted that I'd be able to do this. But I did. And then, poof, he goes to leave, the lights flicker, the music goes out, lights go out. Out comes Alexa Bliss in the ring on a swing set playing, "Hi Randy, you like this? He made this for me before he went away. Just call this Alexa's Playground. He'll be back, though. Don't worry." And back to what I was saying before, though, about with the tweeting thing. Think of it, this is on what it meant. And take the picture into consideration. The Fiend. The Fiend got burnt. Now he's in a cocoon, he's a chrysalis, whatever the fuck you want to say. Now he's going to sit there, hatch, and grow until he comes back. And if he comes back as the Eater of Worlds, okay. If he comes back as the Fiend, okay. You know, I'm good with whichever. Fuck. The man shows he's got fucking range and he can work. So, yeah. So, anyways, folks, that is it for this week's show. So, please do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. If you can, look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious, also on my Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you're going to look for me on my Facebook gimmick, let me know you got me on there from here, or the Twitter at Tim Vicious, so I don't think I pre-jump going. Also, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, thank you to executive producer of the show, I should say, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this show. Let's make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good shit. Details are down below. Also, don't forget to follow these cool ass cats already on the Twitter. Asamalian Kenny Killer, GSP_RD, Tayyip Balaka RA, and Sergeant Curry Pants. And folks, it's that time of year, so Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus, Winter Solstice, whatever the fuck you want to celebrate. Have fun doing it, stay safe, and if you love me, great, you hate me, fuck you. Just give me that.